Happy World Menopause Day, ladies. It is so wonderful for me to be able to be before you on this magnificent day, World Menopause Day, and it is October the 18th, 2025. And I want to take a couple of minutes and just talk through a little bit about World Menopause Day. I have some notes here. I'm going to look down to make sure I cover them because I find myself having conversations with myself and not covering all the points that I want to share with you. But World Menopause Day has come about so we can have conversations around the globe regarding menopause. Menopause has been a topic for many, many years that had been off-putting, very negative stereotypes associated with it, and whispers if there were conversations. And unfortunately, we have this space that we're showing up in menopause, sometimes not aware of what that entire journey looks like, never had conversations with mothers, grandmothers, or possibly other women in our circle to have some clarity on this journey. So World Menopause Day is set aside so we can have these conversations with our sisters, with our mothers, with our friends, with our colleagues, even with management. This is something that happens globally because this affects 50% of the people on the planet. We as women live a life that is so full. And if you get to this point where you're middle-aged, menopause is a conversation that you should be a part of. In addition to being 50% of the population that's going through the menopause journey, then we have those who are in our circles who are impacted by this. Our significant others, our families, even on our jobs, women were needing to take time off, in many cases with medical situations related to the navigation of our journeys of womanhood, be that menopause, childbirth, cramps and menstruation problems. Like, this is a conversation that affects us all. So World Menopause is here to have these conversations unabashedly, openly, and just in a way that we can bring each other together. Hello, Anne-Marie, how you doing? So good to have you here. So World Menopause Day, start having the conversation. For me, as a coach in this space, I want to share a little bit about what I think about World Menopause Day. As a woman that's been coaching in the space of health and wellness for women since 2017, when there was no conversations about menopause, crickets. And I noticed that this changed maybe 3 or 4 years ago when Oprah Winfrey came on stage and spoke about her experience going through menopause. She had went to her doctor, she was having all of these symptoms, and the doctors was not able to tell her she was going through menopause. She was thinking she was having a heart attack, she's having all of these problems, but doctors just were not really aware of all aspects of menopause. I've had conversations with doctors. I have done some research on why there's not enough information about menopause. And what I have come to understand is that menopause for doctors only covered a few study hours, And if you're thinking of an entire program for a medical doctor to only cover a few hours, and this is a topic that affects 50% of the population, why? Why are we not only having but a few hours? On top of that, nutrition was usually an optional course as you were going through your medical academics. Nutrition is vital for us going through menopause. It's vital. So you have doctors who were not really getting enough information about menopause, on top of the fact they weren't taking courses on nutrition, and you have a woman that shows up in your office with all of these complaints, and your answer was like, let me give you something for depression. I have to have this conversation in a very gingerly way because times have changed, and as we're navigating and having these conversations on World Menopause Day, this is starting to change for women. Unfortunately, there were too many women who had gone through hysterectomies, taking medications that they didn't need because there wasn't a full understanding of menopause. So I am here. Let me fully introduce myself again, and then I'll go a little bit farther into menopause. So I'm Beverly. I am a certified health and wellness coach. My company is Beverly Hills Health and Wellness Coaching, and my focus is to help women to break through the stigma of menopause and lean into a fabulous, confident, and amazing next level life. And I have fully embraced that. I have to say, I am living my best life on this menopause journey. And it's not because my life is so amazing. It's like I took control. I'm hearing all of these conversations around me about how bad menopause is. And I found like, well, I don't think that's going to be my conversation. There are things that have happened in my body and I realized, but I took control of them. I did some research. I tried to understand what my body was asking for in this stage, and I addressed them. And I'm on the other side. I'm postmenopausal. So for me, the one thing that was like a red flag for me was looking at the scale and seeing where are these numbers coming from. I have been the same size most of my life, and I noticed that my weight has started to creep up. Not crazy like 15 pounds, but a couple pounds here and there. You lose the weight and it comes back. I'm just like, that is off. And then I actually went to my doctor to try to figure out if she actually can give me some answers. Nothing. It was like, baby, I got a couple of minutes with you. I have a patient waiting for me, and we need to come to a decision like what kind of medication you want. And I just felt like I wasn't being served, I wasn't being heard because what I was going through, I didn't feel like a prescription would take the resolution for me. I'm a person like, let's figure out what's happening. Let's get down to the roots. Let's get down in the weeds and find out what's going on. And I didn't have that. So through my research, I found it's hormonal. So as we get into this midlife phase, our progesterone, estrogen, and testosterone starts to do this dance. And as it's doing this dance, we come up with these symptoms that show up. And we just need to address these symptoms like, okay, what is it that my body is asking for? And address them, and we're able to move forward. This is for the majority of people, women. However, there are unique circumstances. Always check with your doctor, have full conversations. But my thing is like, once you notice that your body is starting to seem a little different, a little off, start journaling these things. Start figuring out like, okay, what's happening here? I notice I'm not eating the same, or my digestion is different. My weight is changing. I'm not sleeping well. Like, start documenting these changes that you're feeling because these are symptoms that you can talk to your doctor with and get them, man or woman, whoever your doctor is, to zero in on what you're needing. There are two ways for this journey. One is medical, pharmaceuticals, prescriptions that I guarantee you will have side effects from. You're going to have side effects. You might get some fixes for one thing, but something else is going to show up on the other end. For me, the path was holistic. So that's the second option, a holistic natural approach, figuring out what your body is asking for, what she needs, and start addressing those. One, I will tell you, it's got to be what you're eating. Your nutrition is key, and kicking out of sugar. You have to find a way to start minimizing sugar because sugar is a toxin in your body at this stage, and it causes all types of havoc as your hormones are going through this adjustment period. Okay, so that's my little share about menopause. There's like this journey. It covers about 3/4 of your life. It's like once you start that journey, you don't get off it until you transition to your next phase of life. But the perimenopause phase is when you start notice like some little symptoms that will show up. Then you get to that menopause phase, which is like that midlife. This is somewhere like 51 is the average age. And then everything on the other side of that, you are a postmenopausal woman. And that's where I am. I've gone through the journey. I am in a really good space. I'm so grateful. There are so many things that starts to change in your life once you start this journey. One for me was that empty nesting. I am so grateful to be an empty nester because that opens up a whole lot of space in my life to do these things that are on my bucket list that I would like to see come to fruition. So having grown adult children gives you a lot more freedom. While you're also going through this journey, you're probably dealing with aging parents. That's unfortunate, but that's the way life is. But you usually will have that space of time that you can be able to provide some care for them. Another thing that happens big time is relationship changes. If you've been in long-term relationship marriages, you will see like 60% of the women go through these relationship changes, go through divorce. They call them like great divorces. And what it is like we as women realize that giving and giving and giving and giving and giving, it totally depletes us. It totally depletes us. If you don't have the type of partner that can zero in and understand what you're going through and support you on that, you're like, baby, you got to go. I have to figure this out for myself. I have been giving to you and everyone else. Now it's time to give to myself. And I look at menopause as a gift because it's when you're looking in the mirror and trying to understand what you need to navigate farther. Whatever you had been doing over all of those years, most likely is not going to continue to work. Things change, life has cycles, and it just opens up a window for a whole new life. As I've been on my menopause journey, I stepped into a 1 year sabbatical. 1 whole year of filling my cup up. And what that meant for me was travel. I started out in Paris. I was invited to speak at a women's conference and ended up extending that stay to about 2 months. So 2 months in Paris and throughout France. Then for the summer, I ended up during the beaches. I am a beach girl. That's where I grew up. That's where all of my joy from my early childhood is just hanging out on the beach and being in the sun and having that freedom. So North Carolina, South Carolina, Virginia Beach area, I was all down the Atlantic coast, checking out different beaches. The waters are so pristine, so emerald green, just so gorgeous. That's what feeds my soul. And then for the fall, it's like, okay, what is the next journey? And I had the opportunity to go to Egypt. I literally was in Egypt for a couple of weeks, touring the pyramids, seeing these magnificent, magnificent, just beyond comprehension, these pyramids. They are something, if you can, I would say, put it on your bucket list. To see the pictures are one thing, but to actually be there, there's an energy there that will just, you can feel it so deeply and internally, it can like literally bring you to tears. But I spent a lot of time in a lot of the different temples there, a lot of the different structures, seeing all of the hieroglyphics explaining like what life was like, how they handled their health and wellness, how the queens took care of their families, how they led. It is just a magnificent place. And for me, it really helped me to validate the work that I'm doing as a health and wellness coach for women, because we as women, as we're going through this journey, especially as we go into that latter stage, we are able to tap into that wisdom. We have all these years we've navigated, and now we're in this space that we can take all that learning and we can bring it forth. We can help the next generation. We intuitively know how to tap in and know what our bodies need, how to take care of our families, what herbs are needed, what types of elixirs we need to take care of our family, how to make decisions rationally, bringing in that intuitive nature. There's just so much that is available for us as we start navigating this journey, and not the narrative that has been out there that we're women of a certain age, not relevant, and we should be quietly going away. Baby, don't let them take your power, because this is a place where you can tap into places and insights that are beyond your expectation. Some of the things that have come forth to me have been absolutely mind-boggling. And I just trust them, and I just take one step, and I just keep making these moves, and just life continues to unfold, just continues to unfold. So as I'm here on World Menopause Day, I encourage you to look into menopause, have conversation. This time is about celebrating ourselves, celebrating our power, our wisdom, and being rebirthed, and transformed. There's a new version of us that needs to come forth. This is not the end. Menopause is like a new beginning. This is time to reclaim our vitality, to reclaim possibilities, to lean into the joy of a life that's been full and more experiences that are waiting for you. So I want to invite you to an amazing event that we're doing in collaboration with Menopause Awareness Day, Menopause Awareness Month, and a place to come together and be in community and understanding what menopause is about, understanding what is been hidden from us about menopause, understanding the miracle of this journey. I'm partnering with a person in London. Her name is Melissa Ayers. Along with myself, we're hosting our first Menopause Unveiled virtual summit, and this is going to be held October the 26th from 11 a.m. to 3 p.m. So we got 4 hours packed with all types of great information regarding the journey, understanding the phases of menopause, understanding the mother, the maiden, the crone, the archetypes of who we are as we're navigating this, going into ceremony, bringing in spaces to hold and support each other on this journey. This is going to be a magnificent event. Also, in recognition of World Menopause Day, we are offering for one day only our early bird special is being reintroduced only for today. This is October the 18th, World Menopause Day, and we're offering tickets to the event at $147. So I encourage you to jump on this, take advantage of this, bring a friend along with you, because we're going to be sharing so much, and the cost of this is just so minimal because you're getting the best of my teaching as a health and wellness coach for women, specifically on menopause. And also Melissa Ayers, she is a intuitive, spiritual, holistic person. She's been practicing for many, many years, and she is going to be bringing so much to this circle as we get together in this Menopause Unveiled virtual summit. So again, I invite you to come and be with us with this Menopause Unveiled event. This is understanding the power of who you really are. So again, join us. All the information I'm going to make sure is in the comments. You can attend by clicking on the link, registering, paying your $147 only for today. And if you miss it, it's still a great bargain at $197. So this is our virtual event about Menopause Unveiled, bringing to you all the information about menopause, understanding how to navigate what you need to do, understanding these different phases, these archetypes of who we are as we navigate this time of our lives, and also be in community and circle and celebrate each other as we navigate this journey. So with that, I hope you have a better understanding of why we have this major day to talk about menopause and also be in a conversation to support each other. Each woman goes through menopause totally different. My journey is not going to be the same as my family members. It's not going to be the same as my friends, not even my mother. Each one of us have a specific journey. It's just like our fingerprints. It's unique. Some people go through menopause. Some women I've talked to, they had no symptoms whatsoever. They had no challenge. They don't know what everybody's making a big deal about menopause, and those women are pretty fortunate. I have to say that my journey was, I think, pretty mild compared to some women that I hear that have really had difficulty, surgeries and everything. But I feel like some of that may have been because of their health situation. Some of it may have been doctors that just misdiagnosed them and they really shouldn't have had as difficult of a journey as they had. But when we know better, we do better. That's why we're having this event to share information that is great information. It's not just, oh, I think maybe this. No, this is information that we have been studying and teaching and found that this has been so supportive for the women in our circle. So again, I'm Beverly with Beverly Hills Health and Wellness Coaching. I'm a certified health coach, and I help women just like you to break through the stigma of menopause and lean into a most amazing next level life. So again, as we recognize World Menopause Day, I am so grateful to be here to share with you and encourage you to continue the conversation. Thanks again for being here. If I can help you in the interim, reach out to me. And for those who show up on the Menopause Unveiled Summit, you are in for an amazing event. I said summit, Menopause Unveiled Virtual Retreat. I've been in a lot of summits these past couple of days, so that's why they come up. But I look forward to seeing you there, ladies. Thank you so much. And continue again the conversation on World Menopause Day. Bye now. Take care.